Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Written Wednesday, now with 20% more technical difficulties. I'm joined today by the incredible, the wonderful Rae, who is now a little voice in my ears, who hopefully you can all hear telling me that she isn't. Yes, kaboom, there we go. The song's going, the energy's going, the secondary chin is strangled behind a fancy collar. We're all ready to go. Rae, let your presence be known so that they know I am not, in fact, schizophrenic or psychotic. Yes, the rejecter of compliments. Can everyone hear her okay? Alright, I'm going to unplug my headphones. I can no longer hear the Rae. I am going to grab this plug. I am going to turn on these speakers. I am going to untangle this cord because it was tangled. Shut up. Stop judging me. I am going to I'm going to electrocute myself, then plug it in. I am going to turn off desktop audio. Rae, say something.
Saying something, testing.
Oh, my cords are tangled. Did you guys hear her? She was testing.
Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben, acht, nine, 10.
Hey, someone says hi, Rae. We can hear. Oh! Oh! We've done it. Praise the sun. Oh! Oh! We've done it. I hope the recording sounds nice, because if we get it working and then we go and record it and it's just no Rae whatsoever, or just like my audio is dead and gone, I am. Oh. And the stream type.
Wait,
no.
Wait, there's two of me?
Wait, what?
There's two of me?
No, I think he was just counting 1, 2, because you were saying eins, zwei, viel, fünf.
No, look.
Look at what?
Yeah, there are two of her.
Where?
In the chat.
We can hear. Yeah, there are two of her. So, oh. Wait a sec. I think I know why that is. Boop. Boop. Get rid of you. We don't need it anymore. Yeah, she talks, and I guess the mic is picking it up. Say something and tell me how it sounds now.
Was ist das?
I don't know. Does it work now? Are you hearing her without the bumping, pinging? I think you.
Yeah?
Ah! Oh, I don't get paid enough for this. For just pennies a day, you too can support your local simpleton. I'm starting a Patreon tonight. The highest tier is one penny. The lowest tier is 1 penny. Basically, just throw your pennies at me because I am entirely senseless.
We're good.
Oh.
Das ist sehr gut.
Oh, my brain. And she's a good volume, right? You guys can hear her just fine. It's not like I'm talking and then like the voice of God booms through. I snorted. All right, snorts in the chat for Meg. I just realized I never linked the chat to Katie, and Katie's gonna want to say, that's simple to fix, though. I can fix this. I can fix that. That is simple.
No compliments, please.
Yes, send her compliments. That one's give me compliments. I said give me compliments. Schnell beta beta, schnell beta beta, schnell. Schnell beta beta beta, compliments schnell. Send them to Ray. It is a German song, and she was speaking it. So just all of them. Vino, it is REA, because she is special. A for A+. A for A. What a terrific person.
No. No.
Yes. Wait, who just added themselves to my Skype? Who are you and why are you there? I will worry with all of that later. Wants to connect with you. I don't even know who you are. The Technomancer. Yes, apparently. I'll take care of all of that later. It seems the video is lagging behind. I don't. It's fine at this point. Everything's fine. Is it picking up? Yes, it is. So tonight, for your viewing pleasure, and by viewing I mean earhole, we are going to read Will to Survive, which has been a group project that Ray and I have been working on for quite a while now that is over 1,000 pages long. We will read some tonight because it has been a very big source of entertainment, motivation, energy, and just all sorts of good vibes. Ray wants to kiss a cyborg, so let's get started.
No, you don't call me out like that.
Yes, I am. I exposed. I'm going to clickbait the living heck out of this video. It is confirmed. We have the first cyborg couple. Ray is actually hiding cyborgs on the premises. From what I've heard, she has not only access to advanced cloning technology, but the first ever cyborg brothel as well.
Oh. 9.
Oh, 9 cyborgs. You've heard it here.
No.
Oh God, that's what the recording needs. Yeah, we're getting ready to do an apocalyptic setting, and we're all giggles.
Okay, nope, I'm good.
That's a good laugh, by the way. I'm glad I haven't ripped into my hysterics yet, because now that you're on the mic, I'm pretty sure that can only end badly.
I have my coffee. It's dripping.
So Ray is basically a necromancer, but with cyborgs instead. No, because they're not dead. She kind of prevented that from happening. All right. Clear throat. Straighten tie. Womp. Are we ready to do some reading? Who wants to join me to see if they have the will to survive? Yes.
So how we're going to do like every other paragraph, or?
Ooh. I was just going to say we each read our posts, but yeah, I think I'm still going to say we're going to do that. So I will read everything. Let me just reshape my nose here.
That's very important.
Yes, indeed. It has to be the proper reading shape. Otherwise, I'm just going to start. There was an unmistakable hobble bobble bobble and just ruin it. Breathing. Serious time. It's all serious now. There's a panda in here. Hello, panda. That's Ray. not doing so good on the seriousness. I can read this just fine, but I'm going to put on my little reedy glasses, my little pince-nez, just to drive it home. We are fancy now.
Why am I a panda?
Google said so. Oh, I better get a drink of water too, because I don't want to be reading this and sounding like the delivery boy from The Simpsons. There was an unmistakable heat that clung in the air today.
Okay, Mothman.
Oh yeah, no. The problem is I can't quite get Mothman where I want him to be, because I know I want him to have kind of that little voice, but kind of a little bit higher pitched. He hasn't slept for days, and before that it was years.
Oh my gosh.
There was an unmistakable heat that clung in the air today. It was like the remains of the town that used to exist under them was slowly bleeding from its broken and ruined stones. The coolness of the afternoon air had already begun encroaching the ruins to surrender the heat they'd been accumulating during that day. The overcast that was supposed to have broken by now didn't help matters either. It allowed the long, twisted shadows of the debris to find greater purchase along the ground, offering safe harbor to the would-be boogeymen that lingered in every dark corner of the broken building facade and... You want to try that last sentence again? Of course, how else can we be so funny? It allowed the long, twisted shadows of the debris to find greater purchase along the ground, offering safe harbor to the would-be boogeymen that lingered in every dark corner of every broken building facade and back alley. In the deathly silence in the ruins of the town of Crow's Keep would seem to... In the deathly silence in the ruins of the town of Crow's Keep... See, this is why I drink water, to hide stupidity. I'm trying to drown it. In the deathly silence in the ruins of the town of Crow's Keep would seem to No, that's just not written right. The deathly silence.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, I've done something wrong here.
Okay, so I think it should actually be, and this is why reading is important.
Indeed. Knowing is half the battle. We are teaching you something. I'm not stupid. This was a demonstration. This is going to be on the test. Pay attention.
Wouldn't it be, in the deathly silence in the ruins of
the town of Crow's Keep.
Yeah, in the deathly...
No, shouldn't even be there, I think.
No, I don't think it should.
Okay.
I think it's actually in the deathly silence in the ruins of the town Crow's Keep.
Blank would seem to amplify. Yeah. In the deathly silence of the ruins, the town of Crow's Keep would seem to amplify. Yeah, so get rid of that of.
There's gonna be a test.
Yes, there
will
is.
Be a test.
I'm going to crack down on Vino here and remind him that there's no cursing in the chat because he used the exact word that I let slip earlier, and I'm hoping that by overly attacking him, everyone will forget that I've done it. Vino, I am very disappointed. You need to write me a 300-page essay on why you're sorry. In the deathly silence of the ruins, the town of Crow's Keep... Crown's Keep. I don't know why I keep doing that. In the deathly silence in the ruins, the town of Crow's Keep would seem to amplify the soft whine of the curtain of air generated by the XF-1550 Hellion aircraft's bulky telescoping engines. En route, the craft had moved as fast as a demonic arrow through the air, but once its bay doors opened, its speed reduced drastically as it dipped lower towards the rooftops and followed the pattern of the long eroded street. It allowed Varen an unrestricted view of the world around her, and indeed confirmed that, despite waiting, The cloud cover had not lifted. The plan had been to drop in around noon, find the camp that the survivors had set up in, and move them to a safer location once the latest FA stronghold some miles away had fallen to the Cure's relentless assault. It was never pleasant to think about, but it was a constant threat in this day and age. They would not have died good deaths, or, moreover, they would not have died in the traditional sense. With newly replenished numbers, there was nothing stopping the now larger force of the biological horrors from pushing their advantage and sweeping through the area to pluck even more members from the settlements that had arisen here. That's why Varen had been contracted by the FA. This was a full-scale retreat on their behalf, with a scrambling effort to deny the Cure from infecting anyone else. They were licking their runes. Little bit of Sun Dow there. Gotta settle that down. They were licking their wounds before likely launching a bombing campaign to cut the Cure back down to size. It was speculated that they'd already made it this far, and were simply waiting for weakly armed rescue parties to arrive so that they could infect them and weaken the FA forces even farther. They were insidious like that. Okay, a death for a warrior. Most magnificent. Katie's here! And I can't guarantee quality, but quantity I can do in any language. Yes, indeed. That is the quote I live by, Vino. For Varen, this would be a rather substantial career move. It would be her first time operating with the FA, and the first time serving with a frontline unit. The pay they'd offered her was unreal as well. Access to their garages to repair her gear, ammo, food, a bed, a decent amount of money to wrap it all up. However, that also showed that they were desperate. They were some of the only semblance humanity had left of order. They were some of the only semblance humanity had left of order, of hope against the relentless Cure. They planned to meet the advancing and emboldened Cure with an enormous counterpunch right to the snout. Each evacuation team was enormously oversized and armed to the teeth, in the hopes that if the Cure were simply biding their time to get the drop on a relief effort that was frantically in disarray from the recent loss, they would be immediately overwhelmed. The team within the Hellion was smaller than the 6 other teams. Excuse me, that was a little too excited. The team within the Hellion was smaller than the 6 other teams. By this time, they were running out of available soldiers and had elected to hire her. They were a bog-standard collection of Marines, tough and battle-hardened, but with one huge advantage. Among their ranks stood a Titan, the largest investment of resources and technology that the FA used in the field. A super soldier clad in strangely biomechanical-looking armor, bleached hair flowing from the back of their battle mask, and armed with an energy lash and 2 assault rifles on either hip. Even encumbered with so much gear, their form was still sleek, more so than the Marines around them, and it would be the first time Varen had ever seen such a thing. Oh, Ray, I do believe it's your time to shine.
Varen took another long and sobering look around the landing point, feeling her resolve break for a split second. When she first started her career, if one could call it a career, as a hired gun, she was mentally frail. Many tears and bits of rage were directed at the threat of the Cure. People she couldn't save in time, people who had lost everything right in front of her. It was a terrible time. And so much destruction and devastation cloaked the land. That was when Varen learned very quickly that she had to harden herself mentally as well as physically. She couldn't let the suffering of other people bring her down. That sort of thinking just helped her resolve even more, determined to help those in need. And so that was just what she did in order to protect her sanity, to protect herself from losing critical thinking in the waves of emotions. She wasn't heartless, though, not by a long shot. In fact, she cared greatly for her fellow man. It was the major reason for becoming a hired gun. The occupation allowed her to travel to fallen cities and civilizations that needed help, but Varen would not let her gentle nature get in the way of survival. She couldn't afford to be so soft, especially when aiming down the sights of the gun. Taking a split second to get her mind off the grim environment, she turned her eyes to the Titan. Even though Varen was hired to help with this full-on retreat, very little information was given to her about the Titan. It was fine. She wasn't really interested in learning more about the ranks and details of the military, but she would be lying to herself if she didn't at least admire the way the armor looked near indestructible. It would give anyone wielding the armor a strong sense of protection. At least that was what she thought. Varen wouldn't ever consider wearing anything like that, not like it was offered to her. She was just fine with her current setup, as it never failed her yet. Now a new thought came to mind. She wasn't really informed on how the FA even found out about her. It wasn't like she was very well known, at least she didn't think so. It must have been that the FA had eyes and ears all over. That was the only explanation that she could come up with. Varen broke her gaze away from the Titan and adjusted the weapons that she carried. A LRE sniper that hung snug against her back, and her faithful Mac Thomas revolver. Sure, it may not have been a big arsenal that she owned, but those weapons never let her down in the heat of battle, never failed when it came to protecting civilians and completing her job.
I should mention that all these guns are made up. This is all based on something I did, like, I think 13 years ago or something. It's been a long time since I started this, and I kind of shelved the project, and just one day on a whim, Ray and I started role-playing this, and it kind of evolved into this spectacular thing. By the way, I also...
No!
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's fine. Because remember, there was more than one Hellion. So, technically, I'm not a dum-dum. Yeah, because there was a good amount of soldiers. It's evolving. Yeah, except for, thankfully, not backwards. I wish I had one of those Tesh has this, and it annoys me that he has this because I want this. But he has this board that you hit buttons and it like does different voice effects.
Oh, soundboard?
Yeah. I wish, like, I would so, like, just kick, all right, listen up, everybody. Call the pilot over the intercom and just have the best audio right now. If I had the audio equipment to want to mess with that, this would be the best reading on the face of the earth. Because I'd pitch up defaults just so we had, like, the standard Coyote voice for when we actually get to him. Because I don't think I can get quite, that gruffness he has. I can't. Jealousy sustains me. Well, I'm glad you are fat. Because I am quite jealous right now. All right, listen up, called the pilot over the intercom of the Hellion. I appreciate what y'all are doing out here, but we've got word that there's some heavy artillery up at the camp. I'm not risking this bird coming out of my wallet or trying to kiss a mortar with the nose cone. This is all the farther we go, he continued. The Titan would walk towards the lip of the open bay, two large doors that ran the length of the craft on either side and looked out over the buildings.
Oh. What? Hold on.
I don't know.
Nope. There we go. Nope, wait, hold on. There we go.
There we go. Seventh time's the charm. Oh, my poor brain. His movements were impossibly silent. No clunk of armor. Oh boy, is that going to be contrasted later. No clunk of armor plating, nor rustle in any section of armor aside from the assault rifles at his hips. For just a moment, absolute silence would hang in the air, letting Varen soak up the midday heat and the smells of the ruins below. Their dryness, the old musty scent of unkept buildings, there were no signs of life anywhere. The camp was obviously deeper in town somewhere. hopefully hidden from the cure and not already consumed. There really was no good time to plan an attack against the cure. They slept in shifts, they saw perfectly at night, and they were experts at surprise attacks. "You heard the man," spoke the Titan through the electronic filters of his masks. "We'll be doing the rest on foot. Jump out onto the rooftops and work your way towards the objective beacon. Comb the houses if you can, but form up on the camp as quickly as you can. We'll have Hellion circle back. We'll have the Hellion circle back around. Okay. We'll have Hellion circle back around once the civilians are ready and we have those guns under control. Keep everyone posted on your situation and call for me if you get overrun," he explained, checking his gear once. "Sir, yes, sir." Oh, no, let's time that down. Ray, you and me are going to do this. We're going to add body to this.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. "Sir, yes, sir."
Yes, sir.
Well timed killing machine, called the men. "Sir, what are you called?" asked one. "Sir, what are you called, sir?" asked one of the men. "Wolf Silver," the Titan would reply in a somewhat distant tone before leaping out of the side of the craft. The Marines would follow suit, and seemed to offer no second thought at the idea of hurling themselves from the open sides of the moving craft. The jump to the rooftops wasn't more than a few feet, but the height of the aircraft made the look down. Just need to work. But the height of the aircraft made the look down less pleasant. Each building seemed at least 4 floors high, with upturned asphalt, jagged, ruined cars, and piles of overgrown debris below the I'm just going to try that whole thing again. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. Shut up. No laughing. Nothing happened. Stop it.
Mulligan.
Yes. Never met him. Each building seemed at least 4 floors high, with upturned asphalt, jagged, ruined cars, and piles of overgrown debris below to welcome any failed landing. The Titan would apparently ignore the building tops, and instead, traditionally known as a roof, and instead not only braved the fall to the road, but could be seen easily overtaking the aircraft as he ran on ahead and disappeared around the corner of the street ahead. I won't change that to beyond them because that's... No, I'm just going to get rid of that there because we don't need 2 aheads. I think we've established it is in the forwardly direction. See, I always do that when I write. I always get I over reiterate things. It's like they went ahead before them, not ahead behind them. Your turn, Ray.
I do the same thing.
I think that's why when I had my friend read this the first time, they were like, "I can't tell the writing apart. This is great." And I also want to know, I haven't read this since when we first typed it, and I'm sensing that there's been some extensive reworking in here. So way to go on you, Ray.
I did nothing.
I know nothing.
Alright. Varen, after taking a short breath, jumped out from the open side as well.
Screaming like a ferret as she went. Sorry. No, we take this reading very seriously. Sorry.
Okay. Let's try that again.
With less ferret screaming.
Take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Varen, after taking a short breath, jumped out from the open side as well. That was another thing she had learned during her time as a hired gun. Always keep breathing, relax, and prepare to be as mobile as possible. That was why it was not any issue to jump onto the rooftop with the other Marines, using her whole body to brace for the shock of the landing from her boots. She was never officially trained or anything like that. She knew she could never compare to the Marines that had trained for the majority of their lives, or even the ones that had gone through the bare minimum of Marine training. However, she could sort of comfortably say that she could at least handle herself well. Her green eyes had followed the movements of Wolf Silver until he was no longer in sight. If she wasn't so focused on the current mission, on her job, she would have been in awe at the way he handled himself. Ever since she laid eyes on him, she understood why the Titans were so looked up to. They, well, at least Wolf Silver, just had this aura of confidence, of determination and authority. After all, they were one of the biggest achievements within the FA. Once Varen was actually standing on the rooftop with the Marines, she readjusted. Oh, well, I mean,
Readjusted works. Oh, she might have done this before. This isn't the first time her, like, that gear has to ride up. At least on the way over here, she's probably adjusted it once.
Well, then again, she's also so short.
Yes. It's not easy being a hardened chicken nugget.
That might be changed later.
Yeah, I did get a good laugh at the first post we were talking. She's hardened herself. Oh, so she's like a pebble, small and hard.
Oh my gosh.
New nickname, Pebbles.
Something that's not food related or animal related.
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. At some point, just she'll have every nickname conceivable.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
Meg. No one. Yes, Chimkin.
No one's ever going to call her by her real name anymore. It's just going to be like, hey, Killer, hey, Nugget.
They're just going to come up with stuff. Oh, God, yeah, I love... And, like, I need to find someone who has that, like, proper smoking voice for... Like, not like the, oh, darling, kind of, like, voice, but, like, a low growl for Dusker. Dusker has that, he's been smoking a long time, kind of voice. Chimkin, that's what's... No, hang on. We need to appropriately butcher that. Hang on.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
There we go. What's for dun? There we go. Have fun reading that and sounding to everybody in your house like you're having a stroke. Okay. She had readjusted her gear and listened carefully around her.
Everything was so eerily
Oh, God,
quiet.
Tess, stop. Chimkin Nuggets. Nuggets is getting me. You know what we're going to have to start calling... If nuggets are the chicken nuggets, you know what we're going to have to call the chicken strips? That is the most unapologetically attractive laugh I've ever heard. Just phlegm everywhere.
Okay. I'm good. Okay, I'm good.
Are you really? Because I'm not.
I'm good.
And she coughs and dies. Epitaph, I'm good.
Okay. Serious mood.
Mm-hmm. Big mood.
Okay. Everything was so eerily quiet. Not even the occasional hot gust of wind made a single noise. But it was that silence that could give them an edge, as any outside noise would stand out. She stretched out her legs, and the sight would have almost looked comical, like she was getting ready to do a workout at a gym. Varen didn't know if she should say anything, or if she even had authority to. The thing about being a hired gun was that she usually worked alone. To her, this was a new experience working with officially trained fighters. Some of the jobs she had taken had her working with the local authorities, but nothing on this scale. So she settled for carefully looking at the other rooftops and the broken windows that they had. This place had been hit pretty hard, and everything looked bleak.
Ooh, hey! Tesh just offered to join in. We can make him some of the other voices.
Oh.
I'm going to add him. Tesh, you're being drafted. I am, of
well.
course, I am not going to turn down the offer for free labor. Get in here, man. Unpaid, you are my best friend.
I thought I was your best friend.
You are turbo best friend. Now, I hope his mic is roughly around the same volume as yours. Otherwise, it's just going to blast this recording to death. Could you get the link for the document for him?
Yes, I can.
Awesome.
Am I being heard?
Copy link.
Tesh, could you
Can you
speak
guys?
up? Yes. Yes, now we can.
Thank you.
Tash.
I'm surprised that, like, what are the people who make the tissues, that one brand? Angel Soft. No, that's toilet paper.
You. Kleenex?
No, I know there's another
No.
one. No, I'm surprised they haven't, like, done a Star Trek thing just as parody. Alright, so, Tesh, I'm going to highlight where we are, and I'll just tell you when you're a Marine. It's been in Spaceballs kind of day. It's been a Spaceballs kind of day for me. Oh, God, that was a great one. Tesh, are you ready to be an apocalyptic Marine?
Sure, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of tweaked a bit of the voices, so.
There we go.
Also, Jesus Christ, this is
This is
long.
Teshak Caldro, excuse me. I don't know why I always
Yeah,
change
just-
it to a T.
Yeah, this document alone is 260 pages. Of course it's long.
Oh yeah, and this is just like the first one. Also, since you have the link, you're going to have to be careful because I don't know how to make it so that some people can read it and others can't without just locking the document. I've tried it before, and it's ruined the RP, and I've had to start a whole new document. So, welcome to Will to Survive.
What page are you guys on?
4. I have my stylus cursor right where we need to be. I'm just like moving back and forth. Come look at this spot.
Okay. Cool.
That's going to be in my next album I release. I'm transitioning from Written Wednesday to a song career. I hope you've liked that. I didn't. We're back to serious mode. We're all serious here. Tesh, you're serious? Yes, totally. Ray, you're serious? You were born that way. You were the first ever frowning baby. Let's continue. The Marines would land.
I mean,
Tesh was so serious he was born with a goatee.
if you want to commit to that, then yeah, okay, that's your funeral.
Yes, no, this is the pothole I'm going to die in. The Marines would land with the usual clatter of their armor and pouches ruffling as they spread out over the length of the 6 roofs, 3 on either side of the street. Without the burden of the soldiers, the Hellion immediately began to pick up speed before shooting upwards and removing itself from sight. The first thing some of the troopers would notice was just how unsteady their landing platforms had been. Many of the buildings were no longer structurally sound, and wouldn't take too much more of their long neglect before finally collapsing. Man, this place is a death trap, one of the Marines would grunt as the comms began to click to life one by one. Test, you can get this one.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. Wait, so which ones am I going after?
I'm just going to randomly call stuff out. And then anything with a radio, I'm just going to be like, okay, Tesh, be the radio man. Okay, so I'm going to read mine again. We're going to get back into this. Man, this place is a death trap. One of the Marines would grunt as the comms began clicking to life one by one.
Yeah, just once I'd like to see these grubs set up a settlement on a tropical island. Calling in the Marines because they have too many mixed drinks to take care of alone.
Added another. I love that. I love that that's a thing. I love that's a thing. I love that's a thing. And I love that's a thing. Oh, you know what? No, I'm going to let Tesh take over this with his... He's got the nice effects. Tesh, you're doing my voice lines.
My God.
Just continue.
Alright, shut up for a bit. How do you want to do this? We've got medics, right?
Another
Asked
asked.
another.
Oh, okay. Okay, I've just been... I have been ejected.
Hey, look, I don't want to hijack your entire stream. Look.
I don't want to hijack the stream. You've been with the company a long time. I think you should take a break. Okay, bye. I'll just leave. Yeah, no, just... I'll button it. This is good.
Added another.
Hang on. Yeah, we're good. Got 2 with us in total, it looks.
Called another of the men enclosed in their armored fatigues.
Alright, good. We could probably win over the yokels with that. You two.
Began the nearest Marine, motioning to the 2 teams on the 2 buildings across from him.
Yeah? You two clear your buildings and just link up and press on to the objective ahead of us. We'll comb through these buildings in the meantime and see if we can lock down the area. Sounds good. Yeah, but what about Captain Cloak?
Another Marine asked another Marine.
Just listening to them over the speaker would tell Varen all she needed to know. They were poorly trained, and not only just barely organized. The FA had likely been forced to rush more people through training in order to keep their numbers up on the field. To keep their numbers on the field up. It all... Speak and spell, voiced. Can you read this fluently, please? The FA had likely been forced to rush more people through training in order to keep their numbers on the field up. It all just seemed to hint more and more that they were getting desperate.
Okay, Scav Lady. Think you can head to the downtown district and recon the police station?
Asked the near Marine.
All right. Ray, you're up.
Real quick, Tesh.
What?
I would love you for life
If I said what?
if you got me whatever you're using.
Oh my god.
Same here. We'll just all link up and we'll just be like, welcome to Written Wednesday.
My birthday's in 3 months.
I'll make a note of it. I'll send you an entire feast.
See, the problem is the program itself is free, but if you want to specifically select which one you want to use and not have a random selection each day, $36 first pay, like $36 or so one-time payment, or you can do a monthly thing.
I think Colby had that.
Voice mod.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you was using like a
A solid dedicated board, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm technology stupid.
Same here. Welcome to the Amish stream, everybody. Now get
Lovely.
out. Tess, do you have anything for like weird hive mindy kind of sounding things on that, or do you just have a random?
I have like 2 or 3 dozen voices, but I'd have to like stop myself, like mute myself, and find out which one.
All right, fair enough. I don't think we'll get to the cure anyway. Not tonight.
Excuse me.
Beautiful. All right, Ray, take it away.
Varen had to fight the urge to roll her eyes at the Marine. If the job wasn't so important, she would have given the guy a thing or two in manners. But after realizing that things were rushed and this was too important of a mission to goof off, she bit back most of her aggravation, but not all. The name's Varen, and yeah, just keep comms open and I'll update on the status of things, she answered out to the Marine who addressed her. It would be frustrating to have these guys keep calling her Scav Lady, especially if things got dicey. She looked around and saw that the building she and the other Marines landed on had a fire escape that scaled the outside. Varen walked over to the rusted metal and gently tested it with one foot. It creaked against her weight just a bit while she gauged the drop from the roof to the street. She estimated that it could hold her weight long enough for her to at least get within dropping distance. Varen just hoped that if there were any lingering threats that the noise sorry. Baron just hoped that if there were any lingering threats, that the noise from the ladder wouldn't draw them in. Although that aircraft, even though it only emitted a soft whine, was louder than any sound of a creaking ladder. Make sure to watch out for any strange noises or movements. Stay sharp, Varen said over her shoulder before making her descent down the ladder. She had guessed correctly when the ladder would hold, even just for a bit.
Oh, the sound of the ladder falling.
It was no issue for her to get to the final ladder closest to the ground, and she opted for just jumping the final distance. Varen let her mind roam for just a moment, wondering how the Marines would manage. Had they ever had to forage and scavenge for themselves for a settlement, or had they spent their whole lives in the care of the government? She felt she at least had a small edge when it came to traveling and being aware of her surroundings.
The Marine would give her the courtesy of returning her salute, albeit in a half-hearted fashion. A second would come to the edge of the building, looking over the side at the fire escape she'd just used and considered it only for a few seconds. Her feet had already met with the asphalt, which crunched and crumbled beneath her, but even from the increased distance, she could hear the fellow clearly, having forgotten to turn off his comms.
Yeah, fuck that noise. We're going down through the main stairway.
You still there?
Fucking Christ! Come on.
It cut out. Here, just from the top of. Yeah, we'll kick over that.
Did Ray hear that?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I heard it.
I think mine just giggled. I'm just gonna, or not giggled. Excuse me, hitched and jittered. I'm gonna have to have you take that again one more time.
No, it's all right. I'm pretty sure Ray giggled.
We're doing this for the stream.
Yeah, fuck that noise. We're going down to the main stairway. Breach that door and let's get a move on.
He ordered.
The other
Takes me a second to switch between voices.
Well, you just leave yours on calm then, and I'll let you take the dialogue and I'll read the stuff.
All right.
Gen 4. The others would soon fall in line and rapidly set about their tasks. Time would be of the essence, especially with the FA looking to make a bombing run of the area before the cure could begin to... I'm just going to try that again because I apparently have become unacquainted with my face. The others would soon fall in line and rapidly set about their tasks. Time would be of the essence, especially with the FA looking to make a bombing run of the area before the cure could begin growing their new hives. They were aggressive in that way. When they claimed new territory, terraforming it as rapidly as possible with their biomass the moment it was theirs. The base they'd recently captured was already very likely converted as well. Even in all their armor, the cure could endure far greater than them. Any soldier would have to put nearly a full mag into just their basic combat cast to knock them down, an extra half to finally kill them. Thankfully, Varen's high caliber weapons could do more damage per shot. A few shots would normally obliterate their bodies, so long as she had distance on her side. Their insidious worms, however, were the biggest threat. If they could immobilize someone long enough for the horrible little things to begin to burrow, that was it. Game over. Their infectious bites also rendered the same effect, albeit slower. These were things Varen would be no stranger to, having survived as long as she had, nor would their acidic bile that they could launch, or their powerful claws. Sometimes it seemed as if they were titans in their own right, unstoppable biological machines far distant from the humans they once were. Perhaps she wasn't too far off in considering her edge. Could they know what it was like without the protection of an army barracks around them at night? Still, still, that would be pointless at the moment. Her focus was the here and now. In the crumbling remains of this burnt-out town, the silence of the comms mingled merrily with the otherworldly hush of the ruined town as she made her way down the road, littered with decayed brick faces of buildings. A glance at her map would reveal that it would be a rather long walk to the building unless she jogged. Wolf Silver had made it look easy the way he disappeared. He had to have been running at least 10 miles an hour to round the end of the road so easily. All around her, the remains of the decrepit cars that littered the streets would serve as a constant reminder at the cover the Cure could be taking. They could move horrifyingly quiet, and had little problem in scurrying up walls like horrid spiders. It would take only a second for one of them to leap from hiding, and set about making her their prey like an eagle, talking those twisted words of peace and love awaiting her. Tesh.
Check in. Varen, how's down looking?
Okay. Hearing the Marine call to her, she placed 2 fingers on the comm radio before speaking up. So far, all clear. Haven't made it to the police station just yet. Her voice was hushed, so she could still be aware of her surroundings. Truth be told, she had put herself in a dangerous position. There was no time for her to think about it, though. Time was not on their side. Varen would just have to be extra careful on top of the normal caution she instinctively had. How goes it on your end? She added on, wanting to know if she was needed to go back to provide firepower or to watch for any ambushes that came from the Marines' end. All while continuing communication, she changed her walking pace to a brisker one in order to get to her destination. Out of habit and instinct, she placed her free hand on the holster that held onto her trusted revolver.
Her voice, no matter how soft she spoke, would seem like a scream in the stark contrast to the buildings around her. The roads ahead remained littered with the abandoned vehicles of the people who had called this place their home during the war before. Man fighting man almost seemed like such a silly thing now in the face of the Cure. If they had only known how desperate they would be later, when they clung to one another against a relentless beast of their own making. Tesh?
So far, it's a ghost town. There's been a few signs of squatters in some of these buildings, but so far nothing. We're still en route to the camp. Looks like it's set up in their old mayor's office. Still no word from the Titan.
The Marine reported.
All is well.
Came the reply, as if to put down the Marine's comment quickly, a reminder he was still on the line. Soundless though it was, a sudden change in Varen's environment would speak louder than anything in the town thus far. As she rounded the next section of ruined street, the cars would all be piled to either side of the road, making it clear that they had been deliberately cleared. Signs that the road had been recently used as well stood out among the otherwise dusty and overgrown expanse. Thankfully, Cure did not use roads. They had no such need for vehicles, as they would grow flying creatures or simply run like animals where they wished to go. There were signs people had been using the roads leading through the older area of the town. Tesh? Or Mr. Calderon.
What?
We have you right here. There's some...
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good news. So far, the city is clear. We're going to split up in a second and send a team to start checking the sewers.
Oh, stream disconnected.
What?
Isn't that a bust?
Now, hang on. It might reconnect. Now you know my pain. We'll just keep no, we probably shouldn't. Well, we'll at least finish this up and we'll call it a recording. How's that sound? Are we all in agreement?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds...
Tesh, take it away.
Aw.
Oh, it was just getting good. I know. Hang on. I know. I'm sorry. Can I wrestle any? We'll have to pick this up later. Tesh,
Okay.
would you be
What's up?
Would you be cool with joining us next Wednesday to continue reading with your amazing little machine?
Sure.
Awesome. All right. Well, for the YouTube cut, let's finish this up. Tesh, you are at okay.
Okay, well that's good news. So far the city is clear. We're going to split up in a second and send a team to start checking the sewers. A lot of the caps have been removed. So either we've got more civvies underground or Cure down there running recon.
The Marine replied.
Don't get careless. There might be a reason why these people aren't set up near the hospital or somewhere more supplied with food. I wouldn't willingly settle down away from supplies without good reason. What's it look like out near you, Civ?
The Titan asked. And with that, we're going to leave it here. I thank everybody very much for joining us this Wednesday, and as always, keep a kind state of mind. Nihilism is the poison that kills creativity and optimism is the fuel for the soul. So, I wish you the best of luck in all your future ventures, in all your creative pursuits, and everything you do. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time, when the stream will die yet again.
Wolf Silver out.
Wolf Silver out.